Hey guys! So today I'm playing David Webb, otherwise known as Dweeb. Dweeb runs another channel called Dweebavision, which mostly does annotated games where he goes and plays a random opponent twice a week. And it's a lot of fun. Lots of people can learn a lot of things from that. And yeah, it's a great thing, so go check it out. I'll have a link in the description, and anybody who wants to, just go watch his channel. And if you like videos like this, there's plenty of stuff like that over there. This game's going to be using the International Lexicon. It's going to be at the Internet Scrabble Club, also known as ISC. You can find it at isc.ro. And we're both going to be doing commentary in this game. Both of us have very different styles, so you get to hear two completely different perspectives on how you can play Scrabble strategically. Anyway, let's get started. Hey guys. So I'm going first, AEHIOOU. So almost automatically this is an exchange. Unless there's a 5-tile play, you really don't want to play through a rack like this. Yeah, you could play something like Ohia, but it's just not really worth it. And you just want to keep the E here. You can keep EH too. Actually, EH is probably worth it here. You are throwing away 5 vowels. H is a good tile. You can justify some other exchanges too, but I think that's probably going to be the best exchange here.
My opponent changes. I was hoping for an O for Ugamus, but I don't have that and I don't have a 7. I'd like to get rid of the O and the U. I think this rack is too good to change. So I've got OU. I've also got MOU. GM, how much synergy is there? Not a huge amount, I don't think, but this is a better vowel consonant balance than playing off the M as well. But playing off the M is 6 more points. Tempting. I think the M and the G are probably not synergetic. So I'm going with this.
So Dweeb plays Moo, AAEEHOY. Again, a lot of vowels. The Y is essentially a vowel here. And it's kind of an option of whether I want to play defense or offense here. Obviously, I'm going to be over paralleling here. I don't really want to be playing something that's going to be wide open here. MOU is a pretty strong range. I don't want to give any 8s. I don't really want to give any hooks if I can help it. So there's obviously stuff like Hoy. Hoy takes an S. I could play Ahoy. I'm definitely going to play that over Hoya. Doesn't have a Z pretty much ever. He does have O's in his range. That's a problem. You can also justify playing something like YEH, and I think I might actually do that here. You're not going to have too many things that go over UH here. So these are really the two options. I don't really like leaving the MOU hooks, but there aren't that many of them. This does a much better job at stopping scoring. Problem is that AAEO is absolutely catastrophic here. But it's not actually so bad given what I'm going to probably see next rack. Whereas Ahoy just leaves a lot better scoring options when he does miss entirely. He's going to miss a lot. If he doesn't have any one of those, it's much worse than after Ahoy, where his scoring options are just much, much worse. I think I'm actually leaning for... Yeah, he has, overlaps to Ahoy. He can reparallel just too easily. Yeah, the hooks are... this does a better job at stopping bingos, probably, but... I think you just have to take YEH. He has a lot of... He doesn't have an S that often. And yeah, I think that YEH just is better for the scoring defense, and I think that outweighs the bingo defense against this particular range. MOU can still lead pretty wide. It doesn't have to be a super, super strong range, but I think YEH is just a better option, because as bad as AAEO is, it's a lot better on a board where most of the game is going to be cat and mouse, which is kind of what I'm trying to go for in this against Dweeb anyway here.
Good score for my opponent, 39 points. I don't have a good rack. The price to pay for keeping the same number of vowels and consonants, I draw only vowels and have now got a very vowel-heavy rack. No scoring tiles at all. Mu takes an E at the end. UH takes nothing in front apart from a P and an H. Certainly nothing I've got. My only takes a C after it. So I have Agio on my rack, nowhere to play it. if I play in column 10, well, I think the best I can do is GIE for a pretty low score and keeping a rubbish rack leave. I'm going to change. So do I keep Sage or just ES? I think I'll keep Sage.
So, David exchanges. I definitely don't want to play Okrie against this range. I think that he's just got way too strong of tiles that are going to hit way too many 8s. So this is kind of out of the equation. Anything that's that long is kind of the equation. I don't really have anything good to exchange. I don't want to do that either. I really don't want to hang tiles. So as much as C just completely destroys my leave here, and I could keep a lot better tiles, like, exchanging doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm not going to do very well against getting into some sort of exchanging battle necessarily. Again, I'm not really sure what his range is. It should have S's. The vast majority of it should have S's, but it's kind of gross trying to play through this rack and try to just keep ACER. A lot of the plays he's going to make are going to be short, and a lot of them are going to create S hooks, and I can't really deal with that very well. And the MOU S hook and the MOU E hook are bad for me. He can hit those pretty easily. So I think that C, just the defensive merit of it, is much better, and I think I'm going to have a lot more success rather than trying to trade bingos here. So I'm going to play C.
17 points for my opponent. I can't see a 7 with this rack. Through an R, I would have had laughers. Do I have anything through the C? Don't think so. Now my H can go above UH and also next to the C. It would be nice to get rid of the G and the U as well. So I could play EUGH and CH. Keeping LAS, which is quite a nice rack leave. If I play through the E of C, making HUH, I can't see a way of getting rid of the U, and I think that's important. So, EUGH, I think it takes an L in front, but I think the L is useful on my rack, or better placed on my rack than hooking immediately. So, EUGH for 23.
3 plays U, and I have AADNORU. So definitely going to be looking for parallels here. Almost certainly going to be a parallel play that's coming this turn. So the first thing I see is a Noah. It's 25. It leaves over parallels, which I don't like. Leaves the U, which I don't like. I feel like I'm missing a parallel, which is why I'm still looking here. But yeah, right now I'm just looking at parallels. I'm not really looking for almost anything else. Best play is almost certainly going to be a parallel. Again, we have this nice kind of board construction going on. Really would like to try to get to H12 to block the moose hook, which I don't have and which David has often. I'd be willing to sacrifice a few points or a leave for that. Oh, I have Ruana. That's got to be the best play. Well, leaves the A hook. You know, this leaves column 13, but that's not that bad. And I could just get overparalleled next turn. Just a much better leave. I think I have to play it here. I spent way too much time looking for plays, though.
Okay, 27 points for my opponent. I note that last turn I could have played just UGH rather than EUGH. And I've just been wondering whether that would have been a better play, and I'm not sure. So no new floaters from my opponent. He's obstructing the E. The only bingo I can see is lug sails through a U. That's not available. There's a 2-letter set UR, but that doesn't look like it fits well with this rack. What I can do is Gleal for 29, which is a good score. The rack leave, not great, but not bad either. Always nice to see an S on your rack. it is providing a hot spot in row A. But I think that's okay. I can't see anything massively better than this, and the score of 29 from this rack with no scoring tiles is pretty good. I'm going with this.
So Dewey plays Gliel. I have CDORVWY. So I'm definitely looking at Vardy as an option. It's almost certainly going to be what I play here. I could play something like Dowry, but it's just not worth it. I do want to block this overlap for Gliel. It's pretty dangerous. So I think that Vardy's pretty mandatory. Just the best leave. Not really a lot of good options here. So I'm going to play this pretty quickly. Just based on points and leave and defense, I think it's best by a lot.
So I have Jaspers, nowhere to play it. The main 7-letter bingo lane, coming down column 13. AJ not good. MY only taking a C in front, a C after it and nothing in front of it. So what about OE? Can't see anything through that. So no bingos, and the board is pretty tight. I think it's a priority to play off the J. The rest of the rack is pretty bingo-y. So I could play just Joe. I could play JA and AG. But I think the A's more valuable on my rack, and that doesn't score hugely more. So I'm going with Joe.
David fishes with JOE. That's annoying. It's really annoying. So that obviously takes a front S hook. I don't think there's much I can do about it. I don't have a very good rack for countering this. Don't know how strong his rack is. If he had a really strong rack, he would probably, I don't know. He could have a lot of things here, though. So I pretty much have to kind of resign myself to the fact that that lane's going to be there. Which means in theory I should be starting to play off tiles. Fortunately, it's hard to do that here. I don't really have a rack that I can play tiles off. There still is value in blocking the board, even though it's not as much value anymore. It's not time to do something like completely crazy reckless, but I'm not happy with my options here. I have stuff like Acro, which sucks. I don't really want to even hang those tiles. I'd rather play Orc if I'm going to do that. Again, it's not really the exact theme that I want to play, but it's worth something blocking. Could play Afro. I don't really want to play out there unless I can score well, and I can't really score well. So that's kind of out of the equation. You can consider exchanging here, but I don't think it's worth it. You can consider something like Toff, but it might actually be better. But you can actually consider something a bit interesting here and play something that's a setup like Row or Fro here. It's not going to get taken with blot that much. You're going to draw any consonant, or any vowel that you draw is going to draw something like calf or cough, or something like that for 42 next turn, and it's pretty likely it's going to happen. The problem is that I don't really want to leave a column A, or row A, so that's kind of a problem. If row A wasn't a threat, I would actually probably do this. But, unfortunately, not really an option here. So I think I'm just going to end up playing Orc. I'm not too happy with this choice. Again, I probably would like some more time to think, but I'm already running fairly low on time.
Great, my opponent's slowing down, and I've just realised that Joe was a pretty bad play last move. I could have played a jar from the A of Ruana for over 30 points, so that was pretty poor. But as is the way of these things, I've been massively rewarded for that bad play. I've got Ad Press and Spaders on my rack, and Joe takes an S in front, so Ad Press plays in row F. Orc has blocked 2 bingo lines, columns 14 and 13, and I had bingos in both of those lines. So I think ad press is the only bingo which survives Orc. And I note for future reference that Liug takes, or Liuk takes, a P and a C in front. So row A is available for plays ending AU, C or P. So for example, last turn I could have played Drap for a decent score, or Jap. Anyway, that's in the past. This is the present. Ad press for 75.
He bingos, makes sense. Nothing I could really do here. I have all consonants, but I think I have to play through here. It's not exactly ideal to play wasps here, but the X has some value here. There's Vex over here. There's some decent X opportunities in various different spots. Pretty hard to parallel this for a lot of points. And I know 14 isn't ideal, but it's something. And yeah, it just has to be better than exchanging.
Okay, interesting play from my opponent. Only 14 points and he burns an S. So I guess he's either got an S or some blanks. Clearly that S doesn't mean that much to him, but I'm not sure how useful that information is for me. Now, looking at my rack, it's dreadful. B, V, and P really lacking synergy. I do have a P for making Pliug and an A for going in front of G, but I can't see any AP words with this rack. What I do have is Vav, but that only sorts out one of the 3 problem tiles. This triple word square to the left of the F, not of any use to me. I need to concentrate on getting rid of the bad consonants on my rack. And the floaters in ad press, not particularly helpful for that. Probably the best I can do is Brap. That doesn't score enough to prefer it over Vav. Vav does burn the A, which could go in front of the G. But there are still 4 A's and 1 U to come. But it would be nice to do something better. I've got Brave for 20 points. 29 points for Vav. The trouble with Vav is that it leaves B and P together, and that is not a good pair of tiles. Brave does split that up. PNT, no vowels, but a reasonable set of consonants, and Brave would be taking out a pretty useful floater. So I'm moving towards Brave. I don't think there's going to be an awful lot between Brave and Vav. I've got Bepat on my rack. Can't see anywhere for that. Except I can. Bepap and Orca. That opens up column 15, and I'm pretty sure my opponent's got an S or a blank, so I don't want to do that. And in fact, if my opponent's got an S or a blank, that again points towards playing Brave, because there aren't a huge number of bingo lanes on this board, and Brave would force him to play, if he has a column 4 bingo, it would play down and open up row O. And also I'm taking out a double-double spot. So this doesn't feel fantastic. Not a great score, not a fantastic rack lead, but it was a grim rack to start with. Thinking about Parev. Let me put this back. And the advantage of Parev is that it provides no plays in column 4. It still obstructs the double-double lane, which is good. Rack lead not quite as good, and I am taking out the P, which made Pliug, but I'm not sure that was massively useful. Yeah, I think I will go with this. I am 1 point ahead, so it's for my opponent to catch me.
Plays Parev. I have ADMOSTX. Should be worth noting, I didn't note last turn, that Dweeb is now going to know that I had the last S, because after Wasps, I have to have the last S. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Not a lot of options here. I could play Tax or Max, but I don't want to leave the hooks. Again, I'm sorry I'm going a little bit quickly here, but kind of short on time, so I'm trying to explain this pretty quickly. I think Mox is going to be the best play here. Again, we're just at points and leave. I do have the case S, and in some cases I'm going to be setting it up, but, I just need to score. The X isn't that great of a tile here, and the S is, so there's a lot of good stuff that can be had in the pool, and I just need to score.
Okay, nice play by my opponent, and as before, having played Parev, I then spotted what I think is a better play. I could have played Verb, keeping the A and the P for a fairly similar score. Now I'm behind by about 20 points, but I'm on turn. I don't have a great rack. Only one vowel, which makes it hard to make use of the column 1 triple word squares. The obvious spot to play is parallel to Moxa. Not a great score available there, but I can sort the rack out. And the choice, I think, is between Cobb and Knob. Knob scores less, but the rack leave is much better. Cobb would have left double N, double T. So this is a better rack leave, and this will keep us neck and neck. Now, having played some suboptimal moves already, am I about to make another one? Well, not too many spots to consider on this board. Knob does provide a very easy scoring spot for my opponent in row C, placing a high scoring tile after MO. In particular, the Z can go there, which would be painful. I don't have any extensions to AR. I don't have an A or an S for going after Orc. I'm guessing my opponent has still got an S or a blank, and he's drawn 4 tiles. Well, if he has an S or a blank, he'll be looking to bingo, and perhaps leave this spot for me to score off. Knob for 20.
This Knob. I only have one bingo here that I see, and I'm going to play it pretty quickly. It's Oldster. Drew the blank, which is nice. And now it's going to be playing defense from here on out, probably. Although it's going to be tough.
Okay, opponent does bingo, and we were neck and neck. He's now a bingo ahead. I have now got a good rack, but do I have a bingo? Quite a few floaters to consider, all of them in Oldster. A pretty bingo-y rack, apart from the triplicate T. Do I have anything beginning with the S? I don't think so. And if I don't have a bingo here, I'm going to struggle to score 25 tiles in the bag. Well, just looking down the floaters in Oldster, I'm not seeing anything. I'd quite like to keep those floaters available since I am behind. So how to sort the rack out? 2 T's to come. So keeping 2 T's risks having 3 T's again. So I could play Tit here for 16. That for 4 more points would keep duplicate T. And this rack goes quite well with the floaters in Oldster. What I am doing, however, is inviting my opponent simply to play parallel to Oldster, killing all of the lanes on the board. So what would be better than Tit would be a play which opens up a bingo lane, but without providing an easy scoring spot. I think the Z is the main danger for playing after MO, and maybe I should keep that open for myself. 9 minutes on my clock. Parev takes an E after it. There is a bingo lane in column 3 beginning after OS, but that would be taken out by any parallel play to Oldster. Let me have another look at this rack. I've got the anti-prefix, so anti-thet through an H. not particularly useful. How can I create a new bingo lane? Well, I've got an A for going after Orc. Well, this is pretty explosive. Tat for 11. Tat takes an E. Still 4 E's to come. So it's inviting a massive play in column 15. Or even a relatively massive one of 40 points. So that if my opponent gets 40 points and I get a bingo, the net gain is only about 30, and it's not enough because I'm 80 behind. An alternative to Tat would be A double T. I think that's slightly more attractive. It pretty much ensures that there will be bingo lanes available after this play, and the rack leave is good, apart from the massive number of eyes to come. So why don't I play... well, I was going to play Tit, but I have to play my A. Okay, so At doesn't play there. It plays after Orc. I think I will play Tat and Orca for 11. And this is opening up column 15. It's opening up row K, and it's keeping the floaters in Ulster available.
This Tat, setting up an E-hook on both sides. Actually kind of interesting. So I have a very good rack. I have all sorts of options. I have like ZA, I have Biza here, just 80, and I have Biz. So just going to go through this quickly, trying to deduce the options. You really actually need to sacrifice the points. You don't want to play Za here, you want to play Biz. ADI is going to bingo a lot on this board. There's actually, the blank is really useful because it acts as the case S, so you know, if it stays open, I can definitely take something here and block it. There's going to be bingos all over the place next turn. I'm going to hit so many of them. So it's definitely not going to be Za. It's definitely going to be the Biz or Biza. So I'm sacrificing 38 points to keep ADI blank. ADI blank is going to bingo a lot here. So realistically, what's going to happen after Biza is, I'm going to bingo so often, but I'm not going to score that much. I'm going to score like 70, so it's like 42 plus 70 versus 100, it's like 112. Versus DI, I'm probably not going to get that much out of DI, but the question is whether I can really do something to the board afterwards. I think the answer is probably yes. I don't really want to get into a duel here, because that's the way you can get back, and when you're ahead, you generally want to take points. So, because I'm ahead, and because I think that I can really affect his bingo chances next turn, even if he bingos next turn, I think I'm going to play Biza.
Wow, 80-point play for my opponent. He moves into a 150-point lead. He plays the second blank and the Z, so both of the main remaining goodies. I have a shocking rack. I played off 3 tiles and drew 3 eyes. I was hoping to avoid all of them and all of the eyes, and I drew 3 of them. This looks like a lost game. I think what I do need to do is to change. I'm not sure that playing through this is good at all. Playing through this would burn tiles, and there's just nothing available. The most I can do is burn off 2 eyes with something like Inti, and that keeps 2 eyes, and there's still 3 to come, so I'm changing.
He exchanges, so he's not in good shape here. I have Unwind plus N. So if we look at the pool, there's a decent number of bingos. I just need to stop him from bingoing twice. And by stopping from bingoing twice, I mean, even if he bingos twice, I should be fine. The U is actually a better tile than usual here, just because of the Q being out. Really, you're looking for disaster ways to lose, so because of that, Enwind is going to be better than usual. Keeps you in. It does keep somewhat high-scoring bingos across the bottom, but that's okay. They're probably going to get blocked. You could also play Unwind up here. Keeps ND. I do kind of like this better. I think this is what I'm going to end up going with, because even if I do draw the Q, it's not going to be that bad. QI does go down. And what I really want to end up doing is paralleling along column 2. That way he can bingo on column 15. I don't care that much. And at the end of the day, this is just a better leave. Even if I get stuck with a Q, I can probably deal with it. So I think this is the line I'm going to go down. Hopefully I'm going to draw something along column 2 and just kill this entire bottom left quadrant and restrict the board a little bit. And he'll play 15, I'll play column 2, and then he'll have to bingo something ending in E. That's going to be really tough.
Okay, I do have a bingo now. I have 10 to go, and that plays in row K and also column 15. I think this is the maximum score. 84 points, but I think it's still too little too late. I'm 170 points behind, and there are 12 tiles in the bag.
He bingos, but it's going to be a long road for him still. So again, I'm trying to look for disaster scenarios. I don't know the bingos too well, but I should be able to outrun pretty much everything anyway. I do want to keep in mind that the Q is in the bag, so I want to make sure that I have some sort of QI option, if at all possible. But I don't think that's really going to even be an issue here. So, like, in theory, I could do something like ONIE, and then he could play QI, but probably not going to do that. Because, yeah, even if he bingos to, like, retailer, then he's going to have one tile in the bag. I'm going to play QI. And that should do more than enough to outrun him, but at the end of the day, I still think it's more important to actually just block bingos, and that's just Ion here. Yeah, there are a few bingos that he can hit. I guess they're pretty catastrophic, actually. So if he hits, like, Eterio, and I get stuck with a Q, I actually would get stuck with the Q. That's kind of a problem. So I might actually not do this. So that's 7. The bingo only scores 68, so I'm going to be up by 30. Yeah, even this gets out. Even if I do get stuck with the Q, I outrun here. And he doesn't have any good 2-tile drops here. Ideally, I could find just some play that plays one more tile so that I could leave one in the bag, and that way it makes sure that he can't score, but still, I think this is just by far the best option.
Just 14 points for my opponent, but he's taking out a lot of floaters. I've got a very unbingo-y rack, and there aren't enough tiles for this rack to mature into a bingo, especially with the number of vowels unseen. I need to play the Q off. I could play cheese in column 7 onto the S of ad press, but I also have it here for more points. So chi for 24.
So I'm looking for out and twos. Seems pretty clear that the out and two is going to probably be Ted and Oo. OO goes in a lot of spots. But yeah, he just doesn't have any options. And I need to clear my rack. This seems like the best way to do it.
Yep, nice play from Kenji, 33 points. Secures the win for him. He's now over 100 ahead. He's just got 0-0. And he can play that underneath knob. And also beside the O of 10 to go. So he can certainly go out. So I've just got one more play with this rack. And no scoring tiles and a whole bunch of 1-pointers and 5 vowels. Pretty unscory. I'm just looking to see if I have something parallel to Ion. So I've got real in this spot, 20 points. Can I do better than that? A play through the T would score at most 15, so that's not better. Well, I have Larry in this spot. Okay, that doesn't help. I think I'll go with this.
And yeah, I just have 0-0, and I'm just going to go out here. So yeah, that's the game. I outdrew David pretty severely here.
And that's the end of the game. So, final score 328 to me, 434 to Kenji. A winning margin of 106 points. So, well done to my opponent. Let's see what we missed.
So, just do a quick analysis after the game. I think I kind of glossed over UI here, but I don't want to play UI anyway. I don't actually think it's almost ever worth playing UI, and HO isn't really that good of a leave. Maybe if I was keeping AEH, I might play UI, but I think that trading's definitely better. I don't want to leave the parallels, and I don't want to leave the floaters. Ye is standard, I think. C is standard. Ruan is standard. Vardy. Yeah, I think you can consider playing a row here. I didn't really talk about that or even really consider it, but I think that's okay too. But I actually like Rook perfectly fine here as well. I think both are okay. But yeah, that S-Joe hook is really annoying. Wafts, mostly to block the column 1 parallels. And my major mistake this game, I missed unwind in this spot. Definitely want that back. Definitely much better than what I did. Yeah, just a mile better. I did keep ND because of all the vowels in the pool. There's 5 E's and 6 I's and 4 O's, so I do think the ND is a good leave here, but obviously this is just a much better play. Box Bengal line scores way better. Not even close. So that was my major error of this game. Pretty happy with my play other than this one play for the most part. Everybody's going to make mistakes once in a while. And yeah, I guess maybe oven might be better here. Or maybe don't need to leave one in the bag. Yeah, I think that those are probably a little bit stronger, but I am blocking bingos by playing Ion over here, so I think it's perfectly okay. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm pretty happy with how I played this game for the most part. I mean, I definitely could have played better, but I guess I played all right. Maybe if I was a little bit more experienced in this lexicon, I'd demand a little bit more of myself here, but I don't actually play international lexicon that often, so given that, I think I played okay.
It was my opponent to go fast, and he changed, which seems pretty reasonable. And this was my rack. Yeah, I played MOU, and I still think that's fine. Well, opponent changes, and he has not drawn well, but he does have some high-scoring options. And this is my rack, and it's not great. And I think I changed here, and you can see that all of the scores are pretty grim, and the rack leaves are pretty underwhelming as well. Opponent's rack, nothing great for him, but he keeps the board tight and keeps the score ticking over with C. Now, Laugh, B11 and CH for 25, pretty good. What did I do? Oh, well, I played EUGH for 2 fewer points, keeping ALS. Probably not a huge difference between those. Now, I have Jaspers. I couldn't see anywhere for it. And this is where I had a jar and missed it. Wow, Paves. Look at that. Pliug, AI, and L. Keeping the J and the S. And also Paver available. So my play of Joe, pretty poor. Look at these top plays here. All of the top 3 or 4 look better than my play. The one saving grace of my play is that it opens up a bingo lane for bingos ending in S, and I'm keeping an S. And that does work out for me since my opponent blocks the other bingo lanes, or 2 of the other bingo lanes on the board. He's got a poor rack. And plays Orc. Now I have ad press spaders also available in the same spot for the same score. Wow. So this is when Kenji plays WAPs, and you can see why he had only consonants and he did have an additional S. So this play certainly makes sense, and it's top of the pile from ISC's point of view as well. Now, here is another suboptimal play. Wow, massively suboptimal since Paven is available. I completely overlooked playing from the P to the right. But there was a 50-point play available there. I thought about Vav, and in the end went for Parev, and I think Verb would have been better than Parev. Now, I do actually have a lead at this point, and I play Chi to get rid of the Q. Maybe that's not the best spot for it, given the number of I's that are left. It's almost inevitable that a QI play will be made in row L. So should I have played QIS for 12 fewer points? I don't know. It's fairly academic in terms of the result of the game. The game is lost. I played Chi. Opponent has tired and Uted. And I play Larry. Had more points available than top right. Well, the top right of the board has been responsible for a huge number of missed plays in this game. And finally, opponent goes out with 14. So, not a great game in terms of play on my part. I did make a few howling blunders, but well done to Kenji for his play and his win. And more importantly, this match was a test of a new concept, really, of having both of us comment on our moves. So regardless of the quality of the play, it would be helpful to know what you think about about this format, and do you want to see more games where you have both players talking in respect of their moves? Do let me know in the comments below, and this video will also be going out, or a version of it will be going out on Kenji's YouTube channel, which I encourage you to check out. Not an awful lot of Scrabble content on YouTube at the moment, so it's good to support and draw attention to the sites that are out there. And Kenji is a great analyst of the game, is hugely respected around the world for his analysis of the game, so his channel is certainly well worth checking out, and I look forward to hearing his comments on this game. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this game, and I will see you next time.
So that's all, folks. Thanks to Dweeb for helping make this video. And like I said, he has hundreds of these types of videos. So if you like this type of thing, go check him out. Feel free to leave comments. And until the next video, thanks for watching.